supplies,
Uh-huh.
and the availability of funds to facilitate the journey.
That's true. Thank you very much. I can see you benefited. Allow me to get someone else and the laser from there, isn't it? Yeah, let me have somebody by the name Barasa Lewis. Barasa, can you hear me? Barasa Lewis. Mr. Nyango, please take me back to the host as the host.
Ume login na hiyo ya form 2.
Yeah, form 2, yeah, nime login ya form 2. Nime login ya form 2.
Na nimekupata.
Oh, sawa. Yes, Barasa. Barasa Lewis. Mr. Nyango. Mr. Nyango, can you hear me? Okay. And let me have Briston Ndegwa. Tell us something that you learned last time. Something that you learned last time.
I was not present in the previous lesson.
You were not present in the previous lesson.
Yes.
But you can remember something concerning the contact while in the things that you are taught in Form 1, isn't it?
Yes.
Just mention anything that is covered in that topic. I want at least to bring everybody on board so that we can continue from where we left.
Which topic kindly?
Contact between East Africa and the outside world. Contact between East Africa and the outside world. Yes. Ndegwa. You remember anything? Yes, Ndegwa.
Yes, the early visitors.
Yeah, mention to us. Good, that's good. Mention, yeah.
We have the Greeks,
Mention
the
some
Romans,
of these visitors. Yeah, the Romans, yeah, good. Then
Chinese, Spartans.
Chinese spear, good. Then Ndegwa. Yes, Austin. Austin, can you hear me? Austin?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, tell me, remind us something. Speak to us or remind us about anything that we covered last time.
I can remember
Yes. Yeah.
I can remember early visitors
Please
came
be louder. Louder.
Reasons why
Yes.
I can remember the reasons why early visitors came to Africa, Eastern Africa.
Good. Mention to us those reasons.
Yes, they came to trade with the people of East Africa.
Yeah.
Some came to escape from religious persecution.
That's true.
And
Yeah, relate.
some visitors came to expand their political empires,
Yeah.
and others wanted to explore the coast, the East
Good.
African.
Yeah, others had to. Was there, did we say anything concerning the spirit of adventure?
Yes.
That's true. Yes. Moses. Moses has also raised his hand. Moses. Moses, can you hear me? Moses.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
We also looked at the exports and imports.
That's true. Good.
Yes.
You mentioned
Eh?
and also the, and if you
Exports.
can remember well, yeah, I drew a table showing maybe the country where the commodities were coming. Isn't it?
Yes.
Isn't it? Could you mention
Yes.
to us some of the exports?
Pardon.
Just yeah, could you mention to us some of the imports? Just mentioning.
Plates.
Like from China, we got plates, isn't it?
Plates. Yes.
Yeah.
From India, there were metal implements.
That's true. Also, kwa India kulikuwa na brightly colored clothes, isn't it?
Yes. And beads.
Yeah, na beads, that's true. Then?
From Persia, beakers and bowls made of glass.
Yeah, good. And also, ilikuwa pia ya Arabia. Pia Arabia
Yes.
produce those commodities, that's
Assyria.
true. That's perfect. Could you remember any export?
Yes.
Which were those exports? Yeah.
Slaves, ivory, copper,
yeah,
cinnamon.
Good.
Also, palm oil.
Palm oil, mangrove poles,
rhinoceros horns.
Rhinoceros horns. Then
Yes.
we had also the tortoise shells. Yeah,
Yes.
that's true. Yeah. Yeah. Now, from there, I'm requesting we continue. Now, I wanted actually to share a few questions. So you'll allow me as we continue. I try to share those notes so that you can be able to see. Yeah. Okay, one minute. Okay, give me just 1 minute. I try and sort out something. Now, okay, as I sort it out, I told you guys to please read something concerning the Portuguese rule, isn't it? Portuguese rule, and also I requested members to look on or cover something concerning the Portuguese rule na pia ilikuwa the Arab rule there, yeah. Now today I would ask you, I request you join, or join me as we discuss concerning the coming of the Portuguese. Now we start with the coming of the Portuguese. The coming of the Portuguese. That's what we are going to do today. The coming of the Portuguese. coming of the Portuguese. Yeah. From that point, you actually need to know who are the Portuguese. That is the start point. After knowing who are the Portuguese, the country where they are situated, then after there, you will just be required to know the reasons as to why they came. The reasons as to why they came. The reason as to why they came. After knowing that, you are also required to know about the challenges that they faced when they came. After knowing the challenges that they faced when they came, you're also required to know something about, after knowing that, you are also required to know about the things that they did after coming, maybe how they established their kingdom, among other things. Now, I'm delaying because I'm trying to share something with you guys. So allow me, please, to, in a short while, to sort it out as I share with you, please. So that I can share with you the screen. Okay, now let's continue. Now, from the introduction part of the Portuguese rule, you actually need to know that I've actually sorted whatever I was doing. You actually need to know that Portugal is a small country in Southwest Europe, and it's located in the Iberian Peninsula by the 15th century, and it was the leading sea. It was the leading sea power in Europe. It was the leading sea power in Europe. Then from there, we go to the factors. The factors we go to the factors. Yeah, can you guys now hear me well? Hello, can you guys hear me? Hello. Can you guys hear me now? Gerard. Okay. Now, I was saying, after having known where Portugal is situated, now in the same thing, we need to remind ourselves about the factors that made Portuguese embark on voyage of discoveries and explorations. Now, the first factor is that, and competent, they had. You can, those that are noting down, the first factor that made the Portuguese embark on voyage and the voyage of discoveries and exploration was, the first one is that they had able and competent leadership. For instance, for example, that of Prince. Maybe I can connect that. We have the first one, we have said they had able and competent leadership, e.g. that of Prince Henry. The navigator, e.g. the one for Prince Henry, the navigator, Prince Henry, the navigator. Then the second one is that the geographical position of Portugal
Rada huku.
Oya. Oya. Za kumutuma ni mbwa gay.
Kutuma ni mbwa.
Kinya. Kinya. Zima kamera today.
Anything.
Za kutuma.
Watu walovaa mask hapa wasikie.
Rada magari.
Rudi ni aje. Mute. Bye. Bye. Nakufundisha.
Schneider, where are you? Where are you? Schneider.
Tuma link ya history.
Nathan Mungai, stop using your phone. Kinya.
Laki wacha kulala.
Nothing going on.
Bye na kati hakuna mwalimu. Hakuna hadi mwalimu.
Walipa zima kamera bana.
Ni Washira.
Rada madipsi.
Si host. Leo mimi naandika screen.
Nakwambia bana.
Jose bado hujanipa mzee.
Kambo washa Kambo.
Oh, sawa.
We host bana. We host bana. Yote fista for explode mimi nashangaa. Flame ni kweli. Ni inarekodiwa.
Inarekodiwa sasa. Mude hapo.
Nikangwaka.
Nini inafanyika?
Sasa nikangwaka msee.
Mzee unataka nifanyie? Unataka nifanyie tufanye bash ama
Ndio uoge.
nipe
Ndizo nani alikuwa anakumbusha. Ndizo alikuwa.
Hapana, hizi zenye amenitumia ni nini maswali zilizopeana jana. Nakubali.
So guys, we are back.
Now, guys, we are back, and sorry for that technical glitch due to the power shortage. So we are back, and I was saying, when we do something concerning the contact, we are going to cover about the Portuguese. We are going to start with the Portuguese, and now, as I'm trying to share the notes I was telling you about, and also the questions as we wind up the lesson. So I was saying we actually need to know, I was reading for you and to you, is factors, and we said the first one was that they had able and competent leaders, e.g. Prince Henry, the navigator of 1394 to 1460. Then the second point was that the geographical position of the Portugal, of the country Portugal, that is, the geographical position of Portugal in Europe, which enabled her to be the pioneer in voyages of exploration. Then the second point is that Portugal had expelled Muslim invaders from our country, and this enabled her to turn her attention elsewhere. She had sent away all the Muslims from our country, and therefore she was able to turn the attention elsewhere. The fourth point was that France and Spain were engaged in warfare, and this diverted their attention. France and Spain were engaged in warfare, and this diverted their attention from voyages of discoveries. And then the fifth one was that Portugal was undergoing a period of peace, resulting in an increasing population. And then the other one, last one but not the least, is that Portugal is not well endowed with natural resources, and hence, therefore, had to expand overseas. Therefore, she had to expand overseas. Therefore, she had to expand overseas. And 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 therefore, she had to expand overseas. Now, with that one, those are some of the factors that made Portugal to continue what to do. Yeah. Now, with those ones, those are some of the things. And now the question can come from that point whereby you will be asked to give the factors that made her to continue with the voyage. And therefore, if you asked about it, please be keen. If you are told to explain, you must explain. Learn not to state. There's a difference between stating and explaining. And so let's very quickly try to cover on. Let's very quickly now. Those are now the zenye tumepatiana ni factors that made Portugal, the factors that made Portugal to embark on voyage of industry, ama exploration, to embark on exploration. So that's let's go to the reasons why, the reasons for the coming, for their coming, reasons for their coming. Hizo reasons tumezimention huko mbele. Kulikuwa na reason kama vile desire, need to satisfy their desire, the spirit of adventure. Walikuwa wanataka ku adventure, they had come for adventure purposes, and there, that's the first one. So we have said the first one ilikuwa ni the Portugal had a desire. We can start with the first one. Desire to control the east coast of Africa and dominate the trade. Ndio ile tulisema mambo ya trade. They wanted to control and dominate the trade. 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 Then the second one is that they were seeking the route sea. They were seeking the marine or route sea to India. They were seeking the marine or route sea to India. Then the other one is that some also came as a result of having the spirit of exploration and adventure. Spirit of exploration and adventure. Now, have you guys been hearing me well? Yes? Have you guys been hearing me well? No, they have not been hearing me well. So let me quickly start from the first one, reason. I was mentioning about the reasons. Change your camera. Okay, now I was saying, yes, I was saying that nilikuwa na mention the reasons for the coming, for the coming of the Portuguese to the East Africa. Na ni kwamba the first reason nimesema the Portuguese had a desire to control the east coast of Africa, and dominate the trade. And dominate the trade. Ya pili ni kwamba they were seeking for marine or the sea route to India. And then the third one is that some had the spirit of exploration and adventure. The spirit of exploration and adventure. The spirit of exploration and adventure, which was due to the Renaissance and rebirth of knowledge. And then another one is that they came to spread Christianity and Muslim influence. And reduce Muslim influence. And another one is that, the other one is that some came to form anti-Muslim. Some came. Ernest, a minute. Ernest, I can see you asking a question. A minute, Ernest. Nimesema? Ernest Mumo, can you hear me? Ernest Mumo? Ernest? Ernest Mumo?
Yes.
Yes, ask the question, Mumo.
It's about the first point.
Yeah.
Is it okay that they wanted to control trade in the Far East? That is the from the East African zone to India and China.
Yes, it's true. The Portuguese, they had the desire, or they wanted to control the east coast of Africa and also dominate in the trade.
Okay.
Is that okay, Ernest?
Yes.
Then I can see Ryan. Ryan is raising up his hand. Ryan? Ryan? Ryan, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Now I want to ask about the point on they came to spread Christianity and reduce Muslim influence.
Yeah.
Weren't the Arabs the ones who came to spread the Muslim religion?
Yeah, Arabs ndo walikuja ku bring Islamic.
Now, who came before the other one? Was it the Arabs or the Portuguese?
Now, the Arabs are the first of, actually, it's like they came in the first, during the same time, but Arabs ndio walitangulia in a bit. So, those who had come, the Portuguese, kuna wenye walisema sasa they are coming to reduce the issue ya Islamic and fight the Islamic. Just the same case, utapata pia kwa pale wa Arabs, kuna wenye kwa hizo points tutazilist, kuna wenye pia walikuja kumaliza hii mambo ya Christianity.
Sir.
Yeah. Then the other point is that nimesema hiyo ya there was a group also that some came to form an Muslim alliance. Is that okay? Then the other point is that others came to make contact with the legendary Christian king who was Prester John. Alafu huyo Prester John is that he was said to rule part of the interior of Northeast Africa. So they wanted actually to come and have a contact with him. And then another point is that the Portuguese wanted to establish a commercial empire. They wanted to establish a commercial empire and to have the largest share in the Eastern trade. And then the last one, but not the least, was that the coast of East Africa was of strategic importance to the Portuguese. Was of strategic importance to the Portuguese. This is because it could serve as a, which the importance was that it was to serve as a resting place for them. Then the other one ilikuwa refueling, a place for refueling their ships. And also another one was that it was a place where they could replenish and supply supplies on their way to India, and also it was a place where they could safeguard their merchant ships. I request kindly you listen as I read to you a small history about the let me read it to you about the Portuguese conquest of the coast, how they came and conquered the coast. If you remember very well, you were taught well in Form 1 that the conquest of the East Coast was done through expeditions conducted by the Portuguese, and the expeditions followed. They had 1487 to 1491. Pedro da Covia traveled to the east to gather information. And in 1488, Bartolomeo Diaz rounded the Cape of Good Hope. And in 1494, the Treaty of Tordesillas was signed, which kept other European powers away from the east. And in 1497, July, which was 8th, actually, it was 8th, Vasco da Gama set out his first expedition. And then in 1498, which was on 23rd March, Vasco da Gama arrived. In Calcutta, C-A-L-I-C-U-T, Calcutta. And then in 1500 AD, Pedro Alvarez led an expedition to the East Coast, and he made unsuccessful attempt to capture Sofala and its gold trade. Then, in 1502, return visit of Vasco da Gama made him conquer Kilwa and forced her to acknowledge the rule of the King of Portugal and to pay legal annual tributes. And in 1503, Rey Lorenzo Ravasco attacked the island of Zanzibar and Mafia, forcing them to pay tribute to the Portuguese, to Portugal. Then in 1505, Francisco de Almeida led an expedition to the coast, whereby he subdued Sofala and Kilwa was burnt and looted. Then Mombasa was also burnt and looted and eventually overpowered. Then in 1506 to the year 1507, 1502 to the year 1507, 1502 to the year 1507, Tristan da Cunha attacked Oja, Brava, Lamu, Pate, Socotra, and brought them under Portuguese rule. And in 1509, Pemba, Mafia, and Zanzibar were taken. We are seeing Pemba, Mafia, and Zanzibar were taken, and also the Indian Ocean trade was controlled. The Indian Ocean was also controlled, and also the trade was controlled by the Portuguese. And therefore, the conquest was complete. Therefore, the conquest was complete. I can see somebody is asking, what is expedition? Expedition in nini? What is expedition? Anybody who can help us to know what is expedition? In English, yes, Mumo? Expedition? Yes? Anybody? Expedition? Anybody? Anybody who can give us the definition of expedition? Yes? It's just the same as a military journey, whereby they usually come, it's like a military journey where they go to a certain place, maybe to conquer and get whatever that they wanted. So in that manner, it was a trip that was made by Kina Vasco da Gama, a group, wakiwa na specific purpose, like to conquer and or take control. So that is the meaning of the word expedition. Then from there, we will, yes, Eugene?
So from the...
Eugene, can't hear you? Eugene? Eugene? Umepotea? Eugene?
Sir.
Yes? Eugene, unajimute? Yes, Eugene?
From the dictionary.
Yeah.
The expedition is an organized journey with a particular purpose.
Yeah.
Especially to find out about a place that's not well known.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm very sure iko na meanings tofauti, si ndio? Kuna mali iko na pia military.
A short trip that you make when you want or need something.
Yeah, so kwa hiyo akina Vasco da Gama, unajua they were not coming into peace. When we shall continue, uta realize even those missionaries who had come, there was a time when they came ile mambo ya scramble. in Form 3, the scramble for independence, utapata even the missionaries, there was a time whereby walianza kubeba gun on one hand, then Bible on the other side. So walikuwa wamekuja na story ya Biblia, and then once it failed, they used to use force. So that's why tunasema kwa hii expedition ilikuwa trip wakienda to a certain place with the purpose of getting maybe some information ama something that is produced from that country, and at the same time walikuwa wamekuja pia kuiforce. Is that okay, Eugene? 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 Yes, Njoroge?
Oh, Cha.
Yes,
I
Njoroge?
have a question.
Yep.
You said that the Portuguese came to be friends with King Prester John, but can you put it like one point to say that the Portuguese came to spread Christianity by forming an alliance with King Prester John so that they could revenge or challenge the Muslims who had conquered their land in over 7 years?
Yeah. Yes, you can combine them. You can combine them, especially when you have enough points. And at the same time, if you don't have the enough points, ile ya kubefriend, ili wakuwa wameinteract na yeye, because alikuwa it was believed those olden days that it was someone who had some good knowledge of religion. So kuna wale walikuja kuinteract na yeye kumuona. Just the same way, maybe once we are told the president is maybe the president for USA or a certain country, you want to interact with him and get maybe something from him. Sindio?
Yes.
Which is totally different from ile spirit ya kutaka kuenda kuspread maybe Christianity. So kuna wale walitaka kuinteract na yeye and they get something from him maybe, na kuna wale pia walikuwa wamekuja purposely to spread Christianity.
Okay.
How we are breaking them to be two.
Oh, yes.
At the same time, you can actually use the two. You can join the two and explain a good point, one good point.
Okay.
Now, another thing that you need to know in the same topic is, another thing you need to know in the same topic is the reason for the successful Portuguese conquest. The reasons as to why walikuwa successful ama they became successful in their conquest ni kwamba, the one and obvious, alikuwa na superior naval and military technology. They had superior naval and military technology. The second one, walikuwa na advanced military tactics. They had advanced military tactics. Tactics and had well-trained troops. Another one, ilikuwa ni disunity and political rivalry of the coastal towns. Disunity and or political rivalry of the coastal towns, whereby the Portuguese exploited this disunity to conquer the towns in turns. Then another one is that the character of the Portuguese, another reason why they succeeded of the Portuguese, whereby they were brutal, cruel, and ruthless, whereby they burnt down towns and houses and also looted them. Another reason Portuguese got reinforcement from their headquarters they got reinforcement from Goa in India. They got reinforcement from Goa in India. And then another one is that the Portuguese launched attacks. Sorry, the Portuguese launched surprise attacks and caught the coastal people unaware. And caught the coastal people unaware. Another one is that ilikuwa ni the weakness of Turkish and Persian navies. The weakness of Turkish government and also the Persian navies. And the last one but not the least, ilikuwa ni the Portuguese were well versed with the coastal. They were very well versed with the coastal, having obtained information from voyages made by explorers like Vasco da Gama. Voyages made by explorers like Vasco da Gama. Then the other one, from that point, we go to the problems. You can note them down, the problems faced by Portuguese. The problems faced by the Portuguese. Ilikuwa ya kwanza ni harsh, unfavorable climates. Harsh, unfavorable climates. Then ya pili ilikuwa ni affliction by tropical diseases. Affliction by tropical diseases. Another one ilikuwa ni inadequate personnel and troops. Inadequate personnel and troops. Then nyingine ilikuwa ni constant rebellions or hostility by the local people. Constant rebellion or hostility by the local people. Now, there's a question here, there is a part whereby it's mostly examined. So I would urge you to please note them down. Let's cover it as reasons for the construction of Fort Jesus. I'm very sure you guys know Fort Jesus ni gani. Okay. Nimesema, let me repeat because of somebody who requests me to repeat something. Ile yenye tumemalizia hapo ni problems faced by the Portuguese. Some of the problems that were faced by the Portuguese. Ama wale captains wenye walikuja, ama those Portuguese wenye walikuwa wamekuja maybe ku spread Christianity, adventure and all those. Problem ya kwanza ilikuwa ni harsh unfavorable climate. Problem ya pili ilikuwa ni affliction by nimesema hiyo hapa juu ni inadequate personnel and troops. Inadequate personnel and troops. Then another one personnel and troops. Then the other one, ya mwisho tukasema ni constant rebellions ama hostility by the local people. Then now hiyo ndio part yenye nilikuwa nasema we need to be keen on it. Unaweza ulizwa useme the reasons for the construction of Fort Jesus maybe. So reasons for the construction of Fort Jesus. Reasons for the construction of Fort Jesus. The first reason is that it was used as a watchtower. It was used as a watchtower for spotting enemies. It was used as a watchtower for spotting enemies. It was used as a watchtower for spotting enemies. And then another one is that it would serve as a hiding place against attacks by enemies. So ya kwanza ni watchtower, ya pili ni hiding place. Hiding place against attacks by enemies. And then another one is that it acted as a military base. Military base for storage of the weapons, the armaments, storage of the weapons. So ilikuwa military base for storage of their weapons. Then the other one is that it acted as a base of administration. Acted as a base of administration. Acted as a base of administration. And then another one is that it acted as a prison for the captives. Acted as a prison for the captives. Acted as a prison for the captives. And then another one, it acted as a resting place. Resting place. Acted as a resting place. And the last one, but not the least, was that it acted as a base for sending punitive expeditions against. It acted as a base for sending punitive expedition against resisting people. Ama punishment ni hapo watu walikuwa wanapewa. And then, having known that, you actually need to know something else. Tumalizane na Portuguese rule. You can note it down. The decline of the Portuguese power ama rule. Sasa tumeona vile imesetiwa, tumejua sababu zao kukuja. Let's know how it declined. Whereby you actually need to know that the factors that led to the decline of the Portuguese rule ama empire made it decline slowly in the middle years of the 17th century. Made it decline slowly in the years of the 19th century. And the factors were as follows. The first factor was that Portugal was a small country. Portugal was a small country. Okay, somebody is requesting me to repeat the last point. The last point pale kwa reasons for the construction of the Fort Jesus. Nimesema, it acted as a base for sending punitive expeditions against resisting people. Punitive expeditions against resisting people. And then nikasema, sasa tunaenda kwa the decline of the Portuguese rule ama power. The decline of the Portuguese power. Ndio nimesema zile factors zilifanya wa decline ilikuwa kwa the middle years of the 17th century. Middle years of the 17th century. Sasa you actually need to know that the Portuguese, a first factor ilikuwa ni kwamba Portugal was a small country with a small population. Portugal, you actually need to note, first factor yenye ilifanya ya decline kwamba it was a small country with a small population. Portugal was a small country with a small population. Now we explain ukisema, therefore, she was neither able to send enough administrators nor raise an adequate army to administer or oversee. Yes, nimesema Portugal, she was neither able to send enough administrators nor she was neither able to send enough administrators nor raise adequate army to administer her overseas possessions. We have said she was a small country, and therefore, from the fact that she's a small country, she was not able to have enough reinforcements and also get administrators who could represent her in controlling the countries, those states that she had captured. Now, I can see from the message somebody is asking me, what does the word punitive expedition mean? Ni punishment, serious punishment. Punitive expedition means serious punishment zenye mmekataa ama muna receive from having refused to do whatever they came to request you to do. From the word now, unakumbuka expedition, a group that comes maybe with the intention of getting something from a certain country ama to force people. So punitive punishment inatokana, ile punishment munapewa ni kutokana na kitu yenye umekataa kufanya. I hope let me have answered you. Then tukasema sasa kwa pale kwa factors zenye zilifanya Portuguese power decline ama fail ni kwamba the country was small, haikuwa, so therefore haikuwa na enough population yenye watapata administrators na pia reinforcement. Ya pili ilikuwa ni delay of reinforcements due to the distance and slowness of traveling. Ilikuwa ni delay of reinforcement due to the distance and slowness of travels. You can explain by saying the Portuguese could not suppress rebellions effectively since reinforcements were not received on time. So ya kwanza tumesema she was small, angekuwa na enough population, ama alikuwa na small population, therefore hawezi produce administrators. Ya pili tumesema ni delay in reinforcements. Ile support yenye anaitisha akilisha backup, so kulikuwa na delay as a result of the distance na pia slowness in travels. Number 3, kulikuwa na the nature of the Portuguese officials. Nature of the Portuguese officials. That is, most of the Portuguese officials served for short periods of time, for they were greedy and corrupt. For they were greedy and corrupt. For they were greedy and corrupt. Then another one is that Portugal's annexation by Spain between 1580 and 1640 weakened Portugal's control of her trading colonies because her attention was diverted because her attention was diverted back home. And another one was that the Portuguese had a negative attitude and were unfriendly towards the local people. And they were unfriendly towards the local people. Then another one is that the Portuguese had inadequate, nimesema ni kwamba the Portuguese, nimesema number 7 ni kwamba the Portuguese had inadequate resources and finance. The Portuguese had inadequate resources and also finance. Hapo juu, the previous point nimesema, the Portuguese had a negative attitude towards our attitude and were unfriendly. They had a negative attitude and were unfriendly towards the local people. And were unfriendly towards the local people. And then yenye ilikuwa hapo juu ni kwamba, okay, sorry, not hapo juu. Another one that you need to learn is that the Portuguese administrators suffered tropical diseases, suffered the tropical diseases. And then another one is that another challenge ilikuwa ni the invasion of the East Coast by the Muslim nations in 1588. The invasion of the East Coast by the Muslims, the Muslim nations in 1588. And then another one, last one but not the least, ilikuwa ni the siege of Fort Jesus. The siege of Fort Jesus. To explain useme, the siege of Fort Jesus in 1698 marked the end of the Portuguese rule at the East Coast. Yeah, ile Fort Jesus yenye walikuwa wanatumia kama watchtower na hiding places na pia kama hamari for their weapons, ilipokuwa taken ama kuwa isha tekwa nyara, they were forced actually to retreat. And therefore, those are some of the factors that made their rule to collapse. Now, ukienda, after having done that one, I actually want to give you some work, of which I will cover next time, but very quickly. Now, kuna impacts of the Portuguese rule. Zile impacts will be classified into two. That is the negative and the positive impacts. Negative and the positive impacts. And I can maybe give you the negative impacts, whereby the first one, kulikuwa na decline of trade and other economic activities. Number 2, kulikuwa na constant rebellions in their early 200 years, in their 200 years rule. So tumesema ya kwanza ni decline of the trade and other economic activities. Ya pili ni constant rebellion in their 200 years rule. Another one, kulikuwa na loss of lives. So mainly we are dealing, tukienda kwa negative, ukiulizwa about the negative impacts, ni the ones that are bringing maybe distraction, they have a negative effect, they are affecting maybe the community or something negatively. Then we have the opposite, which are the positive. Now, if you go to the positive, kulikuwa na introduction of new crops, kulikuwa na enhancement of the development of the Kiswahili language, ama the development of Kiswahili language. Kulikuwa na promotion of good relationship between the East Coast and India. Kulikuwa na opening up of the East Coast to other European powers, among others. And from there, we will now engage ourselves to establishment of the and the impact of the Oman rule. Oman rule ndio hiyo imekuja ikadili na Waislamu. Na Oman rule ilikuja after the fall of Fort Jesus, ama ile sasa mambo ya Portuguese vile wamekuja wakaanza kuwezekana. Now Oman, if I can give you a brief history. Oman is a small country in Arabia, ama the Persian Gulf, and the Imam of the Oman became the rulers of the East Coast. The Imam could not exert sorry, because of that technical glitch. I was saying the Mazrui ilikuwa ni smaller family which was not able to control ama exert his authority of the coast down directly, and therefore which was ama if the reason as to why he was not able was due to the distance. Then kitu ya pili kuwa ni
Hello guys. History. Kuongea waambie we are ending the meeting. Yes. You guys, we are ending the meeting.
No, no, no.